The FFBE 5th anniversary live stream was last night and it was pretty fun. So I'm going to go through all the news that they revealed during the live stream in case you weren't able to catch it. So let's go ahead and take a look at all the fun stuff we're getting, including new units, prizes, and more. First things first, during the live stream, we had a special raid or two raids that you could complete. So there was the one versus Itachi and then the one versus Starlight Elena. Now the Itachi one was super easy. A new player could definitely clear that with no problem at all. The Starlight Elena, you had to bring a better team and actually, like maybe set up some breaks or some chaining or whatever so that you could one-shot it. And they cost some energy. They didn't actually give you anything when you did them, except for some rank points, but then when we got to certain milestones, we got some rewards. So we came out real strong on Starlight Elena, and then we realized nobody was doing Itachi. So we all worked hard, we got that done, and we can look forward to getting all 6 of these milestone rewards. So good job, everybody, way to be. Then we had the Facebook Share Challenge, and you can see there for 2,000 shares at the very bottom. We didn't actually get to that, so it's that the kind of thing where the producers they just expect that they're going to give out the highest reward. So you always see this with gacha games. They're going to give us all of these rewards that you see in front of us, but we didn't actually make it to Facebook. But to be fair, I barely use Facebook. I think a lot of people don't use Facebook as much as they used to. So whatever. Then we have the 5th anniversary celebration summon, and this is a 5+5. So 5 of those summons are going to be guaranteed to be a 5-star, and then the other 5 or whatever. So hopefully, you get some Neovisions. For me, this is just really cool because I actually am missing so many 5 stars. This is fine for me, but for experienced players, they're probably hoping that there was some more Neovision guaranteed stuff here. We also have the slots coming up, and these are kind of fun. The first time I saw them, it was just too daunting, the amount of rolls that you had to do. But then once I kind of figured out what we were getting and how a lot of it was actually very good, I was like, oh geez, this is awesome. So I would just kind of crush through it. So definitely looking forward to pulling on this. Hopefully can get some Transcension Pearls, some Lapis, and some other stuff. So definitely looking forward to it. And then we're going to have 2 different login campaign periods. So part 1 is from the 1st of July to the 21st of July, and then part 2 is going to go all the way until August 18th. So they're really going to make us wait for all these rewards. We have to log in for over an entire month. This must be a gacha game trying to get you to log in every single day for a couple months. It's kind of a bummer, but at the same time, I'm just excited to get all these rewards. I already play every day, so I'm good at the end of the day. But I know this was something that not everybody was thrilled about. So some more updates. We have the comeback login bonus. So if you're coming back after a period of inactivity, you're going to get some stuff. Now the good news is the NV unit selector ticket, that's actually going to be given out to everybody, and that's really cool. The rest of the stuff, I don't know what the deal with that is. I don't think it's going to everybody. It's kind of a shame, whenever you put in a new newcomer or returner bonus, you generally give that stuff to everybody, because otherwise you're rewarding people for not playing your game. And that's important. You have to get people in, you have to bring them back in because it's a business, but you also don't want to sow any unrest among your experienced player base that deserves some credit for sticking with the game and putting in their time and their money and whatever else, their effort. So we don't know what the pool is for the select ticket, but we know it's not going to be limited time units or holiday units or anything like that. So we'll see where they cut it off in terms of what units you can select. Again, for me, I'm pretty pleased because I don't have a huge depth of Neovision units, so definitely going to help my account out. And then for the veterans out there, I'm sure that you can get your 8th copy of something. Okay, so Super Trust Moogles are getting updated. 90 tickets instead of 100 for a 100% Moogle. So obviously that's the best way to go. But if you're impatient, or if you have like one dupe of another unit, then you could go ahead and get the 50% and then mix that with your dupe to go 100% on like a 7-star. So that's kind of cool. Also, the guild limit's going to be increased. I've never even come close to the guild limit. So yeah, I guess some people need this if they've already awakened again a lot of units. So that's all great. Okay, some dark vision weapon updates. This seems fine. I mean, I guess we knew these were coming. Like there would be upgrades eventually. So I'm more excited about the new content. And then there was a survey. Now, I'm not going to go into great depth here because you can just go check it out. There's some information on Reddit. There's some information on the actual video. And they put a quiz based around this. So I think that's better that you go enjoy that on the live broadcast. It's still on YouTube. You can go watch it. But just taking a look at where everybody plays FFBE, and you can see Canada. Yeah, 4.6. Nice. Oh, Canada. Okay, for that quiz that I just mentioned, there's a bunch of rewards, and we're going to get all of those too. So just lots of tickets. That's fine. There's a new Envy 10+1 ticket, so we can get some Neovisions on those, which is great. This is the new content coming to Global FFBE. It's the Clash of Wills, which is, I guess, a pretty cool name. So this is going to be a new boss fight event that has these 3 major functions. So the Morale Gauge, the Evolving Boss Battle, and then the Challenge options. So this is all just around, having this scaling boss that you can fight as a new player, but then it can be a challenge for an experienced player, and it can be a super challenge for a very experienced player. So definitely very cool. So we can take a look. There's this new morale mechanic. So basically you have this gauge up at the top there, and it's going to swing back and forth depending what you do. Like if you're buffing, if you're debuffing, if you're damaging the boss, if the boss is KOing you or buffing or whatever, then this gauge can go back and forth. And when it increases to a certain point on your side, you can use an ability as just like as a party, or certain units are going to have ways to mess with the morale gauge. They're also going to be able to use specific abilities that scale with the power of like how much morale do you have, or maybe when you get to a certain amount of morale, a certain unit will have an ability activate. So it's going to be kind of like the break gauge in that way, that we'll have specific abilities for it. Read into that what you will. It's definitely a way to pressure people into pulling new units that have a way to interact with this mechanic. So we're going to get the first version of this soon, so we'll see that in a sec, but definitely very interested. So if you have a high morale, you can get some buffs, and that's kind of what I just said. This is cool. So there's going to be 99 levels to the morale battles, and if you beat, let's say you're like, okay, well, I'm an experienced player, I'm not going to play level like all 99. They come in stacks of 20, so you can go into the morale battle, and then you can, the Clash of Wills, and then you can pick level 20 and beat it and get all the rewards for 1 to 20. Then you can go to 40, 60, 80, 99. And once you've beaten that like cap, so once you beat 20, then you have all the way access to 40. And once you beat 40, you can have all the way access to level 60 boss. So I think this is really cool because new players are going to have a really nice sense of progression of how far they can get the first time they try this to the next time it comes back, because it is like a returning content that is not constantly live. So I think that's actually really cool. It's providing something for everybody. FFBE is not always super clear or just open to a new player to come in and like try stuff, because trials are so specific and you have to learn so much. It's a lot of reading involved, looking at guides or figuring out what your units do, and like Dark Visions is pretty intimidating once you get through that first wave. So I think this is going to be even more accessible, like for new players. Like you do have stuff like if you do the Chronicle battles, there's some scaling there, if see where you can get to, or like if you're earning the tokens for your brave abilities or whatever, like there is some access there. Like I remember when I was really starting out, like every single time I could beat something that was harder, it felt so good to get that progression. I felt like, oh, I'm actually becoming a real FFBE player. I know how to play the game. So I think this is going to be a perfect example of how they can do that for new players, and then hopefully it's still providing what experienced players need, which is challenging content. So after you get the boss all the way up to 99, you can also pick even more buffs for the boss. You can give them more stats, HP, elemental resistances, all all this different stuff, so you can kind of like build a boss and then make it more challenging for yourself and get more rewards, more points. And with these points, we're going to be doing lots of different stuff. We're going to be ranking up, trying to, and you're just trying to get like the highest rank that you can off of the one fight. So that's going to help, you know, the points that you get will help rank you. So if you're fighting a high boss and you're doing all the challenge options, then you can rank higher than someone that's playing level 40. That makes sense. But we can also get rewards. So there's the Obnixus drop, and these change. So every time there's a new Clash of Wills, there's going to be a different Obnixus drop. So you can't just like save them for later. But you can see there, look at that. Luna Freya, an Omniprism, the Cactar. Those are some pretty good rewards. So pumped about that. And then there's also going to be like a weapon or like an equipment upgrade system as well. So lots of cool stuff to get for these. So this Celestite Crown of Will is their example of how you can customize it. And there's so many cool things here. So I immediately thought of Noppy and raising her chain modifier cap by 100% there if you get the Magister's Celestite Crown of Will. But there's so many other cool things. There's killers, there's static attack and magic by 300, things like increasing your LB damage. So really, really cool way to kind of make this better for your account specifically or for a specific party that you're trying to build. And the raw stats on the crown itself are just really good too. So even if a new player can just get this, that's going to be really huge. It fills the morale gauge. So they're giving you different ways to do that. So this is definitely a very cool, like customizable. Everybody loves choice, right? Like that's number one when I'm a teacher, right? And one of the number one things you do is you have to either give choice or the illusion of choice. And that's where you plan for all the outcomes. So, you know, they're really all my choice, but the students think that they've picked what they're going to do. But, you know, I planned for it. So, okay, so this is going to start really soon, like next week. We're going to be able to do this for a couple of weeks and try to rank up as highly as possible and learn all about the morale gauge and other things and get some equipment. And now the part where everybody got pumped up, that's the new unit. So we have Luis, who is one of our new global, original units. She is a fire element, true dual wield magic attacker, and she's got some really crazy stuff. She has 200% passive to all killers. She gets things that increase with the morale bar. She's able to, well, you'll see in a sec the equipment that she gets. So she seems really, really crazy, but we just don't know until we actually see like her potencies and stuff and what's going on there. So I'm not going to do any sort of like huge in-depth look at these units, but if you want to, you can go check out their trailers, their brave shifts. You can take a look at some of the sample abilities that they showed during the live stream. All that information's on Reddit too. So we're just gonna like take a look at what's here. So here's White Dragon Ling, apparently a very popular character from the past. I wouldn't know because I wasn't playing the game yet, but definitely looks really cool. Reminds me of Ziza from War of the Visions. Nobody hate on me for that. I know War of the Visions came second. So White Dragon Ling is going to be a Firelight buffer that gives a bunch of buffs by consuming the LB gauge, but then can recover it, naturally. I think she has an ability to just recover it all the way to full, and then you can use it to then buff everybody up. And then, of course, she's going to interact with the morale gauge as well, that she can just raise it every single turn. She can just use a skill that raises it. So it's just... I mean, and that has to be the best way to do it, right? Because, buffing yourself does it, and, damaging the enemy does it. So if those natural ways of raising your morale are better than her buff, then she's kind of irrelevant. So you're going to have to think that this is going to be pretty potent, like really a strong way of raising your morale. But besides that, again, she's a buffer. So all the buffing she's doing is raising the morale. So definitely going to be like a type of unit that you want to pull if you're really interested in Clash of Wills. So then we're also getting the Elena Neovision Awakenable. We were all expecting this because they were giving her out for free with her STMR and Moogles and all that other stuff, the dupe, whatever. So this is cool. She is going to be an attacker and then a buffer after her Brave Shift. And again, buffers work with morale, so I think they're trying to get everybody a morale unit. But this is cool because this is the morale unit that they're giving us for free. So if you're like, I don't want to pull on morale units just just yet. I want to, you know, see how this whole thing works out. Well, guess what? You have a morale unit. You have Elena, and you can see how that works out for you. And you can always go for these other units too. So she also has an ability that raises the morale of the party, but it's only usable twice, I think. Whereas the White Dragon Ling can use hers every single turn. So she's not going to be like as good as Ling at raising the morale, but that makes sense because again, she's free. All these units have like the true brave shift, which is pretty cool. So they all look really good. I'm pretty excited about it. So we're also going to have some panel quests. That's just your typical bingo board. Nothing crazy here. And then there's a story event that's going to be all about our new character, but it has some cool stuff like the Corundum helm, which has lots of magic, and then some resists. The magical energy pack. All of this makes me think of Metroid, and I can't get that out of my head. But this has the LB gauge fill and some other resists and stuff. And then there's going to be a new Challenge of the Brave, which gives this weapon that is for Louise only, and it has crazy static magic, just 235 flat, giving it to you. It's an elemental weapon. It's only for her, but it gives LB damage 50, and it's going to boost the damage of certain abilities. So obviously you want to farm the crap out of this if you're going to use her. But then it's like, okay, she's got all these killers. She's got 50 LB damage. I wonder what her passives are going to be like. Are you going to have to put a ton into Magic Up? Are you going to have to fill up the rest of that LB damage? Or like, because otherwise, you know, she's going to have a lot of materia slots free, which is pretty cool. So definitely looking forward to this. And then there is a developer teams selection, and they're basically, if you vote for you know, your favorite unit, they're going to turn it into a new form, Neovision, next spring. So it's a ways away, obviously, because they have to do all the designing and you know, make it an appropriate unit for the game and the meta at that time. But lots of great choices here. I am for sure going to vote for Eldrin. He is my favorite unit. He's one of the first units I ever pulled, and I'm just so excited for him. So I want to vote for him, but I know that there's probably lots of other units that haven't had their time in the sun in a while that a lot of you will be voting for. So that big dog Chow, he's a close second, and I don't even have him. I mean, how can you not like that good boy? So there's some rewards for voting, of course, so everybody please go and vote. And then they teased the FF7, which is kind of like not even a teaser because we all know it's coming. We all knew it was coming this summer, so this was really a nothing announcement, just that they're like, yeah, it is going to come. So that's great. And that's it. That is the whole anniversary. Now, I might have missed some stuff, and if I did, you can share that information in the comments below, or you can just go to Reddit because there's an incredible post on Reddit with all the information. I was like halfway into clipping all the images off of the YouTube video, and then I go on Reddit to take a break, and it's like, oh, hey, here's a post with everything. And I'm like, well, okay, I'm almost done. I'm just going to clip the rest of these images. But yeah, you can go get all the blanks filled in there if I missed anything. And then otherwise, let me know, are you excited for these units? Are you going to save for FF7? You know, were you pumped about this anniversary? Are you disappointed about it? I'm not giving too much of my own opinion because who am I? I'm new. I know that a lot of experienced players are not that pleased with a lot of things, and I'm just like not in a position to judge it. That would be pretty ridiculous of me. So I'm just going to be, you know, content with what I'm getting as I learn more and more about the game. But I want to know what you guys think, and I want to learn from everybody. So if you're experienced, let me know what you thought about this, or you can just tell me on Discord too. Come on and hop on. The link is in the description. And then otherwise, we'll see you next week. I'm going to come on Thursday and do a poll video for Louise, probably, because a magic attacker sounds very appealing to me. I have a ton of Lapis, so I think I'll probably pull for her, and I just need to wait to see those potencies and see, you know, is she going to be usable for all types of content? But I have a feeling that she will be, so very excited for that. All right, see y'all next time.